I always get confused with that because the comment bar is off to the side, but we have the whole video so they can see everything. I realize that needs to be louder.
That does need to be.
That needs to be louder. I need to redo that. It's. I played it up against the station intro. I was like, the station intro sounds great, but
and we sound like, hey, we're the Manpocalypse.
We're the Manpocalypse. Enjoy our show.
Right.
Yeah. So, wow, I have work to do this weekend. You know how much I hate doing work on the weekend.
Yeah, but this is fun work.
This is fun work. There you go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Manpocalypse Radio Show. I'm Aaron. He's Mike.
How's it going, guys?
There we go. Hey, there. Now I can hear.
All right.
Now, yeah. Music soft, voice loud. There we go.
So just double check. Skype and everything working. Phones can be heard.
Yes, I am not. I am not touching anything labeled Skype.
No technical difficulties this week.
I know touchy. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and pop Skype up here so that if it rings, and we get the fun stuff. If you want to join in on the discussions today, 330-871-4422. That number once again is 330-871-4422. This is the Manpocalypse, and we're being invaded.
The boss is coming. Pushing
in.
buttons. Uh-oh.
The button was on. I swear. I promise you, I didn't push the button.
That's why I had to hit it and hit it back off.
No idea.
Already fucked up.
Welcome to the Manpocalypse, the kings of technical difficulties.
Yes. Well, see, we didn't even get a call, so Skype's working. We're good.
Yep.
Thanks, boss.
There you go. That's our general manager, Debbie, telling us how badly we're getting this wrong. And of course, now Earl's going to watch us do even worse.
Of course. So hey, since we ended on Father's Day last week,
yes.
How was your Father's Day, by the way?
My Father's Day was My Father's Day was an entire weekend because let's see, Friday we went grocery shopping. I got a whole story behind this. Friday we went grocery shopping because I'm poor and fat.
Right.
And I'm walking around, and of course I'm still dealing with the medical difficulties, which I'm seeing somebody Monday about. So good, wish me luck. But I'm walking around, and all of a sudden my back starts to really tighten up, and it was the back pain that kind of alerted me to what's been going on. So I remembered the last time that I was at this particular grocery store, which shall continue to remain nameless because they're not paying me to say their name out loud. I actually had my sugar crash. Ben will appreciate this. If your sugar goes down too low, you really kind of you need carbs. And I was with my son. I was actually with my entire family. My wife and my daughter were off doing something else. My son was with me, and I told him, I said, my sugar is going down. I need you to go up front and grab me a chocolate milk and bring it back because I need some carbs.
Something now.
Right. And in the midst of waiting for him, my sugars got so bad that I just needed to sit down.
Right.
So I was back by frozen foods, and I just sat on the floor. Now they have cameras and they're watching you all the time. If you've seen the movie I, Robot.
Yes.
Okay. So you remember when the NS4s just like hurtle into, are you okay? Do you need assistance? It was like that. Like people coming from out of nowhere. Employees, are you okay? Do you need assistance? Do we need to call 911? What do you need? What can we get? I'm like, I'm diabetic and my sugar is like 2. My son's getting me a chocolate milk. Go away. I've got this. Thank you for being concerned, which in all actuality, they were more just covering their own backside so they don't get sued. But I'm like, thank you for your concern. But, the rest of the time that we were there, I literally had somebody following me at like tailing distance, like just make sure he doesn't pass out again.
Don't let that guy die on our watch.
So fast forward again to Friday, my back is spasming and I'm like, okay, if I show any ounce of pain, the NS4s are going to come out again. And they're going to be like, are you okay? Do you need assistance? Do you need help? Because, law number 2, you can't let a human be injured through your own inaction. So, grocery shopping was, to say the least, a interesting. I was going to say an adventure, but yes, interesting. We got home, we ate food, we got fat, we got stupid. Saturday was my Father's Day with my son. I went to go pick him up. We went to go see a movie. I was reminded of how ridiculously expensive popcorn and sodas are at the.
It's unreal.
It is. I think we ended up spending $17. We got a large popcorn, not the big, CPR version of popcorn, but we got a large popcorn split with it between the two of us, and we got 2 sodas because he's thin and 18 and he's got the metabolism of a rabbit, and I'm old and fat, so I need the diet soda. So no sharing there. And it came out to like $17.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself,
for
all right.
popcorn and 2 sodas.
And I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is lunch. Here you go. Lunch in a movie. Maybe not nutritious, but I don't care. And we went to go see Avengers. And without spoiling anything, you'll be able to tolerate the end of this movie if you go into it realizing that there's another Avengers movie coming out next May.
Right.
Okay. If you watch this and realize, oh, this is a 2-part movie, they just didn't market this as part 1. Because if you think back to, like say for instance, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, they marketed it part 1 and part 2.
Yep.
This one was just Infinity War. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, wait, how could he, why did he just, oh man, come on.
Not Cap.
But again, there's another one coming out in May.
So calm down.
So relax. Everything will be fine. Take your pills and relax. And that was our discussion the whole way home, me driving him back to his mom's house, was that, it was mind-blowing to see what happens at the end, but there's going to be a movie that ties it all together next year, so just relax. So that was, I got home, ate food. The women folks said they wanted to do something crafty for Father's Day, and they didn't do that. They were going to do that the next day. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to sit around and watch movies. I don't care. Do what you want to do. Sunday was the real fun. I got up at like 7, and of course the women don't get up until like noon. So I made myself some breakfast, and then my daughter actually got up at 8, and she's like, all right, I want breakfast. All right, so I made pancakes, and she had like half of a pancake.
And that was it.
And that was it. So I had this stack of pancakes here, and I'm like, all right, well, I've had mine, you've had yours, the rest are for Mom, which she spent like the day eating. It's like, I'm going to have some now, I'm going to have some later, I'm going to have some later.
Just nibble.
And I had my lunch, and I went upstairs, and I started like watching movies and zoning out. I ended up taking like a good 4-hour nap. That's what I wanted for Father's Day. I just like
Father's Day
just,
right there.
I put on, I can't remember, I think I put on Hot Fuzz, Simon Pegg movie.
Nice.
And just, I started out, I remember, the whole introduction with Goody Two Shoes playing in the background. And I woke up to them, with Nick Frost and the shotgun, and he's, killing people in the city. And I'm like, I slept through the whole movie. I don't care. But if you follow us on Facebook, you saw the video that I put up. Bella went out. Well, Bella didn't go out. Bella's mom went out and got this $2, just dollar store octopus sprinkler, and we hooked that up, and we walked through it. We ran through it. We squirted each other
It
with
was
it.
an epic water fight.
It was fun. And there were times where I'm sitting here, I'm trying to talk to the video, and Bella's like, "No, Dad, I'm going to squirt you now." And the fun part of it was Mom did not want to get squirted at all. She wanted to go and she wanted to get wet on her own terms. That's not happening.
No.
So we had a good time. We put up some chairs. We sat in the shade. Bella started squirting the dirt, making mud, sitting in the mud, getting all sorts of dirty. Again, like I said in the video, just doing dumb stuff and having fun doing it. So that's kind of what we did for Sunday. And we ended up having breakfast for dinner, which consisted of everything else you can make for breakfast aside from pancakes. And
which your wife still had some. So
which she ate some pancakes on top of that. Now, as I mentioned, I was on call for Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And the fun part was that I knew I had received the email that said that they were going to take down the phone system Sunday morning between 2 and 5 a.m. The way I found out about this is, when I'm on call, somebody has a problem, they call into the helpline, they leave a voicemail. The phone that I have goes off. I check the voicemail, and I get the information, and then I call them back and I'm like, "Here, let me fix your problem."
Right.
Somebody calls in at 2:45 in the morning. Okay, I knew this because the thing went off. I try to call into the voicemail to get the message, and I can't because the phone system's down. So I'm texting my 3 bosses, 1, 2, 3 in a row, and I'm like, okay, there's voicemails. Now, if you don't check the voicemail right away, the phone will continue to go off. And this happened for 45 minutes.
Oh, of course.
Because I texted my bosses, I'm like, I don't know who amongst you is up, but I can't check the voicemail. I got voicemail, I can't check
them.
So someone texted me back and said, check your email. I'm emailing you the voicemail with email, because the voicemail will actually filter to somebody's email. I'm emailing you the voicemail messages. The first message I got was somebody who said they got locked out of their computer. The second one was the same person said, never mind, I figured it out. You kept me up for an hour at 2 a.m. on Father's Day for that.
For never mind, I figured it out.
That's why I took a 4-hour nap
Right.
on Father's Day. I'm like, I'm too tired for this. But that was my introduction to the overnight on call.
Nice.
So that was my Father's Day. What was yours?
Mine was actually pretty laid back. I got to do something that most wives and mothers out there will probably wonder why my wife let this happen. I got to get up and do a model shoot with a very gorgeous 22-year-old.
I saw those pictures. Oh my goodness.
She's gorgeous.
Well, she was very stunning, but those pictures were beautiful.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
But so I did that in the morning, which, for me on Father's Day, that was great. I had a good time. I'm a photographer. I love it. So it was pretty cool. Hot as hell. Humid, or muggy, I should say, was probably the worst part of it. And for anybody that wonders why my wife would let me do that, let me tell you, this 38-year-old man sweating through his shirt after taking 5 steps is not a turn on to a 22-year-old woman.
Not attractive.
And my wife knew that. But no, it was a great time. And then, honestly, I just went home. We kind of chilled out at home. I grilled something, I'm sure. But my youngest wasn't feeling too good, so we didn't really go out and do anything. Just had fun at home, played with the kids, made some goofy videos.
You lost your marbles.
Lost my marbles.
Oh, my goodness. I showed Bella that, and she ran around for the next hour yelling that she lost her marbles.
He's referring to a Musical.ly video that I made.
You're gonna have to share that on the
I will have to
Facebook
put
page.
that on there because honestly,
now
everyone
it's gonna be like, what?
Yeah. Huh? But that was my Father's Day photo shoot, and then the rest of the day with the family.
Yeah, that was So another thing I want to talk about your pictures real quick, and then we'll just jump into being men. And you know what? This actually plays right into it. I have to confess, I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm going to play stupid because you put up a post on the photography page in regards to doing, I think they're called boudoir photo shoots.
Yes.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay. They are
I
not,
have an idea, but I'm going to play stupid. I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to let you educate me.
essentially what these are is typically women who want quote unquote sexy photos. So lingerie, heavy in lingerie, maybe some nudity, but not really showing anything. So in other words,
Softcore.
softcore.
Now, typically women.
I'm guessing there's some men out there that
I was going to say.
I've never been asked or approached about men, so I don't know.
I could call Ben.
Ben might do it.
Ben
and
might do it.
You know, we could get some of the Asian thing going on.
We could get the Asian thing going on. There you go.
But no, typically, a lot of times what happens is you'll get, you know, a fiance that wants to do him as a wedding present for their future husband. Or
okay.
the case today, a lady wanted to do a shoot for her husband's 50th birthday. And
My 50th birthday is in 2 years. Just to keep that in mind.
I'm not doing that photo shoot, just so you guys know. But no, occasionally I do get asked to do that kind of thing, and I don't really do it. Not because I'm against it, but let's face it, I'm a married guy, and you're asking me to go into either a woman's bedroom or rent a hotel room and photograph a woman half naked. There's all kinds of bad that can happen.
So you can't do this at the park.
No. I mean, we might be able to get away with it, but it has to be
5
really
in the
fast.
morning on Sunday when no one's there. Okay, so it's one of those like
This happens in
special occasion
yes.
photo shoots. I see. All right. Well, thank you for that valuable information. I will. I'll cancel my reservation. Hopefully, the deposit check didn't cash it.
No, not a problem.
Whoops. I don't do it. I'll try anything once. Oh, yeah, we're live. Yeah, no kidding. I know that. All right, so I have a couple topics that we were going to tackle today. And the first one, I'm kind of taking the lead on. And it's funny that I'm taking the lead on this because I don't drink, right? But what got to me here is somebody sent me a meme. Which essentially said, forget beer pong, let's play battle shots.
I saw that.
And it got me thinking, you know, we have beer pong, which is essentially a narrowed ping pong table with, and I'm guessing, because I've never played this, but I've seen setups, with 10 solo cups on either end, and you have to bounce the ping pong ball into the red solo cup. I do not know what happens if you successfully do this or not. Again, I don't play these games because I don't drink.
Okay, in fairness, I don't drink in the way that these people do when they play these games.
Yeah.
In fact, I've only ever played beer pong once, and it was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
But my basic understanding is if you get a ball into the opponent's cup, they drink that cup.
So it's quarters with
Yes.
with a ping pong ball. Fascinating. And I'm assuming, I can't assume. I don't know what battle shots is. It's like they had a battleship setup where instead of pegs, there were shot glasses. And through the course of time, I've seen a variety of different quote unquote drinking games. Like, okay, if you're watching any of the Harry Potter movies, and every time Hagrid says, seriously misunderstood creatures, you take a drink. Or, you know, anytime Hermione corrects somebody, you take a drink, you know, that kind of thing. Or if you're watching Monday Night Football and somebody says this or somebody says that, anytime somebody says something in something you're doing, you're taking a drink. And what got to me is that whatever happened to just drinking? Why, at what point in the transition from becoming boys to men to becoming boys again, did we reinvent drinking to the point where it's now a competition? Okay, when I drank, and I will not sugarcoat it, I drank to excess. which is why I don't drink now. You drank. You went to a bar and you drank, and you had one of two goals. You were either sitting around with your friends, drinking, seeing who could speak unintelligibly first. Eventually that's and that's the thing, because that would be the drinking language.
Exactly.
And or getting so inebriated that all of your inhibitions are gone, and you're talking to the pretty girl who is not going to give you the time of day at all, ever.
But you're speaking to her in fluent drunkenese.
In fluent drunkenese, hoping that your only out is, of course, she's as drunk as you are, and she understands.
And you wake up the next morning and realize it was not the prettiest girl in the bar.
But she was when you were drunk. And that's what drinking was. You basically drank to either have a good time or forget what kind of time you were having.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking when you brought this up is, and maybe it's the fact that I didn't go to college. I got lost on the way to college. But
you got recruited.
I got recruited.
It's like I was on the way to the university and the recruiter called and said, "Hey, come here." What?
What, huh? And then I was on a bus and, hairless, but whatever.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but and okay, let's expand on that a second. Okay. I'm pretty sure we didn't play these drinking games at the E Club.
No.
We didn't.
No.
You went to the E Club, you drank, and you talked about, what you did this week or where you're going or what you blew up.
Our drinking games, in all honesty, were, how many beers or whatever can I have before I pass out? That was it. That was a drinking game, and we didn't even know it was a game.
Yeah,
So,
it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to drink until we're going to see who can drink the most and who's going to do which first. Who's going to throw up first?
Yep.
Who's going to pass out first? Who's going to black out first? Who's going to start breaking furniture first? That was our version of the drinking game. And maybe that is why we invented these drinking games, to say, okay, well, all right, you old men, your drinking games were to see how much damage you could do to your livers. We're just going to bounce a ping pong ball around.
Yeah. We were trying to kill ourselves and basically avoid getting, colored on with a Sharpie. That was it.
Who's the first to pass out? Okay.
Because our game was, who's the first to do this, but don't be the first to pass out.
Right.
That was it.
Because, when you're the first to pass out, then the question starts raining. All right, hang on a second. Guys. Who's sober enough to draw a straight penis?
And it was
John, you can draw one? Okay, right over there's passed out.
It was never
Put
a
it
straight
right
penis.
No,
It was crooked.
because you're drawing on a contoured surface. You're drawing somebody's cheekbones. It's not straight.
And you were drunk and giggling.
There you go. So yeah, that's where I went with this. I'm like, these drinking games that we have here are, kind of a metaphysics to whatever. We just drank. We just went out and we drank. Somewhere along the way, there had to have been one old timer when they were inventing these drinking games. There had to have been one old timer who said, "Wait a second, guys, I love your enthusiasm. I love your creativity. It's great. I love it. But what if we just, I'm just thinking here, okay? Just chill. Just check this out. What do you like that? It's performance art. Go with me on this. What if we drank and got drunk? Well, what do you do next? That's the fun part of it. You don't know. It's like a fortune cookie. Okay, you open a fortune cookie, you don't know what's going to be in there.
And then the conversation goes, just drink, man?
Just drink? What do we just drink?
For real?
Yeah.
We're
that, and let's segue there. What happened to the English language?
Oh.
I don't know if this is like a man thing or a generational thing, but the English language has has really kind of
It's fallen
taken.
apart. It has really fallen apart.
I mean, we all have our own slang, we all have our own jargon, and we all have our own, way of saying things. I mean, our parents had their, cool daddy-o and solid and right on, and for us everything was tubular and gnarly and awesome and dude. I still to this day have no idea what a bay is.
Bay drives me nuts.
And I'm not entirely certain who boo is. I can't. People.
I will say that I'm probably going to get this wrong. I think bay is something along the lines of before anyone else or something silly like that.
I just keep hearing. I keep seeing people like put up the dictionary definition of bay, and it's Danish for poo.
Yeah.
So you're basically calling your girlfriend poo.
And then boo, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, but another one was wrecked.
Wrecked.
R-E-K-T. Wrecked. Like, first of all, and I will dismiss. There's a lot of people that will complain about the lack of ability to spell.
Yes, big time.
But then again, I mean, we've kind of drawn that upon ourselves in adopting text speak.
Yes.
Okay, because you're at a red light and you have like 30 seconds to get this message off. Let me get it off as fast as I can. Now, on the other side of the coin, I don't do text speak. I've taken, plenty of English classes and I've done plenty of research papers, and I've done enough with the English language that I spell things out. And spell check has been my friend. Has spell check been my friend? Because there have been many times where I'm like, what? I am grateful for spell check. We were talking about before, where they said, if you don't know how to spell a word, look it up in the dictionary. Well, if I knew how to spell it, I wouldn't need a dictionary because I need to know how to spell it to find it. But spell check is your friend. Spell check will spell it for you. But when you're short on time, R becomes R, A-R-E becomes R, Y-O-U becomes U.
Yes.
T-O-O and T-W-O becomes two. And yes, I will get on people's cases. Your, and there, and there.
Oh my God. Your, and it drives me nuts. I correct everybody.
Oh,
I am completely a grammar Nazi.
I've done that so many times. I'm like, and I think that's probably why I only have like 5 really good friends. Because when you get to know, when I'm introduced to you, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to correct you.
Yep.
I'm going to correct you. And my wife puts up with it. She really does. Because I go nuts with it, even if it's just not grammatical, even if it's just something like, okay, you said a phrase wrong, and I've been getting better, like waiting until you're done saying what you're going to say and backtracking and said, actually, what you meant to say was this, because there were times that I would just jump right in and go, yeah, that's not right. But then I get ticked off when people interrupt me. So It's like, hey, you know what? Dear pot, you're black. Sincerely, the kettle. Get back. So, I get to that point.
Well, that's like, I've actually said this to you, that talk and text feature. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Because I use it all the time because I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
But it will botch and butcher anything I try to say.
The fun part is that my wife uses it all the time because, again, she's doing the same thing. I'm trying to text her and she's driving. And I can always tell when she's doing it because, one, there's no punctuation.
Yeah, none.
And you can use dictation and put in punctuation because when you get to an end of a sentence, you say period and it puts in a period. But it will, the more you use it, the more it's trained to your vernacular.
Yes.
So, the first few times you use it, my father recently got a smartphone. And we knew he recently got a smartphone when he joined Facebook. And we all started getting a Facebook friend request from him. And it was the funniest thing because we immediately called him. I'm like, did you do this? Because Mom has been on Facebook for years. Dad is sending this out. I was like, I think somebody's pretending to be you. He's like, no,
No,
that's actually me. I called him And as soon as he picked up the phone, he didn't say hello. He didn't say anything. And he just went in and said, yes, I sent you a Facebook friend request. Please accept it. I'm like, I'm not the first person who called you. He's like, no, you're about the third.
You know what I love? When, our parents, people our age, our parents,
Yeah.
get on Facebook and the very first post you see is member since 1954. Because it takes their birthday and makes that the very first
Right.
post. It's like, no.
The fun thing is, in my younger days, in my 20s and early 30s, I was absolutely terrible at remembering birthdays and anniversaries and things. And when I was reminded of them, I always used to give the same bullshit answer. Well, I sent you a card. I mailed it.
Right?
You should be getting it. Which, after a while, they knew I was full of crap. But after a while, I'm like, I was a freaking alcoholic. Of course I'm going to lie to you.
I forgot.
Now, this past week, my dad, like I said, just joined Facebook a few months ago, learned how to work with his relationship status. So he put in that today he married my mom.
Awesome. Congrats.
Now, congratulations. The fun part is that their anniversary is at the end of the month. And I know this because I have it in my calendar, in my phone, so that I don't forget to at least call them and say happy anniversary, if not send a card.
But now Facebook's screwing you up.
Facebook, here's the fun part. Dad put this in, said, married to mom. And then the cavalcade of people saying happy anniversary.
Right.
Actually made me doubt myself. I'm like, wait a second. I have your anniversaries on the 30th. What the?
The card's in the mail. The card's in the mail.
No, I actually texted my mom. And I said, now hang on a second. I have in my calendar that your anniversary is the 30th. Please tell me that I'm not wrong. And she texted me back, like, no, Dad just put it in and somebody said happy anniversary and the rest of the internet just blew up.
Oh, of course.
And
Good old
I
Facebook.
literally, I text back, I'm like, so Dad broke the internet. Finally. And the next day he puts up another post for all of you who wish me a happy anniversary. Thank you, but it wasn't yesterday. I'm just learning to use Facebook. It's actually the end of the month, but so I'm like, okay, now I'm all set because I didn't, the only comment that I made was like, so now it's Facebook official. Because another thing with this generation, you could be in a relationship, a long-term committed relationship.
But it's not official.
It's not official until it's Facebook official. Until you go into Facebook and say, in a relationship with, Sally, you and Sally never met. Screw you guys. So, that's where we went from drinking games to Facebook official.
Oh, wait. I might be able to tie this together. There might be a Facebook drinking game.
Facebook drinking game. Here we go. What do you got for us?
Hang on. Got to get past all the ads.
Advertisements.
Equipment. You need a laptop or smartphone, a projector or large TV. That's way too much work for a drinking game right there.
Yeah. If a drinking game requires assembly, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
Just stop, open up a beer or a bottle of scotch, and drink. Don't make it complicated. Just drink.
Obviously, alcohol of choice. A Facebook account for all players works even if not all of them have one. And an internet connection, of course.
When you break the instructions down like this, you realize that you're dealing with drunks.
Oh yeah.
You have to put these in because there's going to be one drunk guy going, I can't get on my Facebook. How come I can't get on my Facebook? Walk into the Wi-Fi.
What's the projector?
What's the Wi-Fi? Oh, wait a minute. Is that little thing at the top? Oh, jeez, yeah. It's like dealing with end users all over again.
All right, so gather all players around the device of choice or the projected image if you have a projector. So now it's if you have a projector, when at the beginning it was a requirement.
Do you want 7 or 8 drunks huddled around an iPhone 7? Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
But they'll do it.
They will.
Each player with a Facebook account chooses a number between 1 and 100. Players without a Facebook account drink 2 shots. Okay.
If you don't have Facebook, you're already drunk.
Use this website to configure and generate a number between 1 and 100. The one with the number furthest from the number generated loses. The loser has to use his Facebook account for the game.
Okay. It's kind of like roll to see who goes first. Most of us just used a 20-sided die, but you can get a number generator.
Drink for each. Photo with a quote as a description. Selfie. Mirror photo. Bikini or man without a shirt photo. Video depicting stupid things being done by stupid people. I would be dead within 5 minutes.
I'm done already. At this point, I've already killed a bottle of scotch, and I'm having to crack open another one.
And advice.
Now, I want to preface this by saying not because I have a bikini photo. Because I do. Not of me. No.
Oh, no. You lost me at video depicting stupid things being done by stupid people. They are all over Facebook.
Now, here's the thing. Do you have to drink for each one? Or if there's one of these, then drink?
That,
It doesn't say.
it just says drink for each.
Drink for each.
So-
Okay, drink. It just said drink for each.
And bear in mind, you might not be using your Facebook. You might be using the Facebook of an 18-year-old girl. So drink for each selfie? Really? This is how people die.
This is how people end up eating Tide Pods.
The game can go on for as long as you like, but I'd advise stopping after about 10 minutes for health and sanity purposes.
Because at some point, you're going to need a liver transplant.
Yeah.
Where did we come up with that? Now, I get the idea that we needed to take pictures in mirrors because the front-facing camera did not come about until about maybe 5-6 years ago.
Right.
At that point, the mirror pictures really kind of needed to stop.
Yes.
Okay, you were done with that, and if you want to take a picture of yourself, hey, you hold it out like this, and you take a picture of yourself.
Get that stupid little selfie stick.
Right. And I think the only thing that really makes sense is, well, I want a full body shot. You love yourself that much, it's time to find something else to do.
But no, all their followers love them that much.
Did you see that I ran into Chris Carter today?
Yes, I did.
That kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Right.
I was downtown. I was walking around at lunchtime. I stopped for coffee, and it was both things happened at the same time. I was coming out of the hotel, and I saw banners and flags and stuff for the Jewish Motorcycle Association, and I was kind of pleased, but a little bit taken aback, and maybe just a tiny bit frightened that there are multiple Jewish motorcycle clubs that warrant an association with them.
Right.
Like, okay, I get that, neighborhoods or cities, or, I have a friend who's actually in a Marine Veterans motorcycle club.
Right.
They're all over the place. But Jews on bikes, and enough of them that they warrant an association.
I'm honestly curious about what their names would be.
Actually, I didn't catch all of them. One name that stood out, I saw there were a couple of them that were standing out front. The name on the back said Shul Boys. And I thought, that's kind of catchy. I like it. I'm assuming you guys don't ride on Fridays. So, hey, check in and kind of hang out. And it was when I was walking past the hotel, heading back to work, that I saw someone with their phone doing one of these numbers here, like they were going to take a picture of a building. And I'm like, well, okay, let me wait. You don't need, my fat head in your picture. And he said, no, don't worry. I'm just taking a selfie. And I looked over, and I'm like, that's Chris Carter. Now, I've been around enough famous people in my life that I don't need to geek out.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Carter was an amazing football player. He was a great college football player, had a decent high school, had a decent pro career. And now I think he's on one of the pregame shows. I think CBS, if I'm not mistaken. But, hey, this is how much I care about football. What stood out to me, though.
Tony.
Ask Tony. Tony will let us know. What stood out to me, though, was that, when I got back to my office and I put that up, my wife texted me and said, "You mean X-Files Chris Carter?" And I love the fact that that's immediately where her mind went.
Right.
So it tells you I married a nerd. But more importantly, I would not know X-Files Chris Carter if he walked up to me and offered me sexual favors for free. I wouldn't know him from Adam.
You'd have no idea.
You could be him and just been telling me your name's
Right.
okay for all this time. And I'm just like, okay, cool. You know, the guy wrote a TV show. He wasn't in front of the camera. He was
Right.
behind it.
I got no clue who that is.
That's like, okay, well, you know, hey, I'm Ron Howard. Well, okay, bad choice, but you get the idea. So we are on a tangent today. We're just kind of going everywhere.
I think that's the theme of this show tonight, tangents.
The theme of Men on Tangents. Manpocalypse,
Well,
on a tangent.
If you've ever talked to an elderly man, that's what we're looking at down the road.
If you've ever talked to a middle-aged man, that's what
Yes, yeah.
we were talking about. My high school reunion is coming up next month.
Yeah, I think mine's actually this weekend.
And we were talking about spending time at my dad's house, and the joy of that is that we get together and the tangents just, you know, we'll go from this to that and just fly off the handle,
Oh yeah, nonstop.
and you know, and that's kind of how, you know, you get guys together and they will start talking about football, and then it'll be about beer, and then it'll be about girls,
And then
and then
guns.
it'll be about guns, and then it'll be about, you know, and then it'll be about cars, and this is all,
Mow your lawn.
and this is all within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And here's the fun part: it's you know, there's no structure to the conversation. You find your spot where one guy has decided, okay, I need to breathe, or I'm going to pass out,
And then somebody jumps in right away.
You know, you could literally, like, there's no place for a commercial break.
And then
just go with it.
Inevitably, what happens is somebody's wife comes outside, because we're always doing this in the garage or the driveway or something. Somebody's wife comes outside. What are you guys talking about? Nothing.
Nothing. Stuff.
Nothing. Stuff.
And it's at that moment where we realize that when that conversation finally does break, it's like, what were we talking about again?
How did this start?
How did we were talking about Brock Lesnar, and we got to, you know, Colt 45s.
How'd that happen?
And you know what? I've had those conversations with one person,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how did I get to this point? And I can't backtrack the whole thing because I get to talking about something, and it's like, and it reminds me of this, and I get so into what I'm talking about, I disconnect the brain, and I disconnect the filter. I just let the brain go. I'm like, here it is.
Here's the man tip for the week, ladies. Oh, wait.
He just said, here's the man tip for the week, ladies. I want you all to marinate on that for a moment.
Hey, there's some ladies out here listening. Ellie, you better be listening.
He's going to give you the man tip.
The man tip. When a guy says, I don't know what we're talking about, we really don't know. We're not hiding anything from you. We're not trying to keep secrets from you. We lost track of our conversation about 45 minutes ago. And at this point, it's just ramblings.
We had an idea. We started out with a topic, kind of like tonight's show.
Yeah, we had a topic.
We started out talking about drinking games, and that's not where we are
No,
now.
I'm going to get home. My wife's going to go, what was the show about? I don't know.
We with guy stuff.
Guy stuff.
Tune in now. Listen
Tune
in.
in, Nat. Listen in.
Maybe you could play it back later and go,
What were they talking about? Somebody call in right now and tell us what we're talking about.
yeah, backtrack it for us and let us know what we were talking about, because we're lost. But that's fine.
330-871-4422.
I'm going to take a moment here, and if anybody calls in, you're going to have to let me know, because I'm going to look away here. But I'm going to take a moment here before we close out this hour and start jamming out to some, you know, wonderful music here, and talk a little bit about, I did not get the pronunciation. Stan Pyatt. Am I saying that right?
Think so.
Okay. Stan Pyatt captained the morning show on WNIR for decades. It's gotten us going every morning, 6 days a week for many, many years. He recently retired, hoping for some rest, relaxation, and play a lot of golf, as most men do when they want to retire. Unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans for it. This past November, Stan went in for what he believed was an appointment to find out if he had his second go-around with pneumonia. Unfortunately, Stan reveals more than that. He was diagnosed with stage 4 small cell lung cancer. More scans were taken and then showed that the cancer had spread to other areas of his body as well. As we know, the cancer often does. It starts in one place and just starts eating you away. Due to the severity of the condition, he has not been able to work or do much of a lot of any other things here. So his medical bill, his medical only covers a portion of the bills, and it's up to him and his family to really kind of take up the remainder of that. So we are reaching out to the local community that has listened to Stan on the airwaves and who has the chance to get to know this amazing man. Okay. We had a couple of fundraisers that we here at SKO Radio are taking part of. We've got one coming up on July 3rd. It is a Comedy All-Star Showcase for Stan's benefit here. It is at the Funny Stop on State Road, Cuyahoga Falls. Most of you who are here from the eastern portion of northern Ohio are going to know where that is.
Yeah, you know where it's at.
If you're like me, just Google it. The Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls. The MC for the evening will be our very own Tony Hagen, the sports truck Tony, affectionately known as the Comedy Killer. Comedy Killer is going to be emceeing a
At
comedy
the
show.
Comedy Stop.
Good job. Now, Tony has actually been one of Stan's favorite callers for years. He used to call into Stan's shows all the time. So that's why Tony's kind of taken us on and doing the show here. The comedians providing laughs for the night include local comedy legends, including Mike Conley, Katrina Brown, Bill Benden, and Jeff Blanchard. A donation of $10 per person will be collected at the door, with Pete donating the club for the night. So,
And Mike Conley, I've actually heard Mike. He is very funny.
There you go.
Very funny. Worth going and seeing, guys. And it's a good cause.
And Mike and the other comedians are doing this pro bono. They're donating their time. They're donating their jokes. And this is every dollar raised is going to help Stan and his family. Additional donations are always appreciated.
Of course.
$10 gets you in. $20 gets you a nice big hug. I'm speculating, of course. I don't know what $20 gets you. The doors will open at 7, and the show will start shortly after that, which in radio terms means around 11:45. Sarcasm. Enjoy the jokes. They're for free. There's another fundraiser that we're doing for now. There's another fundraiser that we're putting on the 22nd of July at the AMF Riviera Lanes in Fairlawn. I thought I was blinking. A Scotch doubles bowling tournament to benefit Stan. We're doing a Scotch doubles bowling event at the Riviera Lanes in Fairlawn on South Miller Road. South Miller Road in Fairlawn. Nope, I don't remember where that is. Oh yeah, no, I know where that is now. It's beyond the mall.
Yeah.
I've worked at the mall. That's really my extent of what I know of Fairlawn. The mall and Swenson's. That's it. Am I from another county? I think I am. The cost of the event is $30 per team. You'll be bowling 3 games. We also have a silent auction along with a 50-50 raffle and other types of raffles as well. I saw some of the stuff that we're raffling here.
Pretty cool stuff.
Really cool prizes to raffle on too. So there's the bowling tournament, there's a silent auction, there's the raffle. If you'd like to donate items for the silent auction or the raffles, give us a call here at the studio. The office number is 234-706-5857. That number again is 234-706-5857. Or you can comment.
If you don't get a hold of anybody, leave a message. They will get back to you.
Or You can contact our general manager, Debbie, directly, and her number is 234-900-9770. That number again, 234-900-9770. If you have any questions, you want to help out, you want to donate, or anything else like that. The Friday, the 22nd, Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 22nd, let me look at my calendar and see which one's which, because they're talking about 2 different days of the week having the same date. Sunday is the 22nd. Sunday is the 22nd, so I'm going to assume that this is Sunday the 22nd. So on Friday the 20th, Friday June 22nd. Hi, I'm here. I really am. Tomorrow night, Friday June 22nd, if I read, I'll be okay. Tomorrow night on some kind of radio show, Earl and the boys will have, they will have Stan's daughter Stacy here in studio to talk about some of these events, to talk about Stan. So please, tune in, listen in tomorrow here, SKO Radio Network, tune in app. The show, some kind of radio show runs from 8 to midnight.
Yep.
So tomorrow's show is going to be pretty special as well. So just a few things that we wanted to touch base on here before we go ahead and start jamming out here. So again, good cause.
Good cause.
Benefits.
And you know what? Part of the reason that I like being part of SKO is we're a family here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody takes care of everybody. And, we're trying to look out for one of our own here. So please, guys, come out to these events, show some love, show some support.
Try to laugh at the jokes. Some of them actually really, really funny. Not like the ones you hear.
Yeah.
I'm just really trying hard. That's all.
And you'll be able to drink, which will just make it easier to give and laugh. So
there you go. Give, laugh, drink by Battle Shots. We're going to take a break now. You're listening to the Manpocalypse Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network.
how many songs we doing?
One file is not playing, so I've got 5 songs. I got to drag another one over.
Okay.
It didn't have a time, but it showed up as a file. That's why I wanted to see what was going to happen.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Thanks for joining us in on Facebook Live. We're going to take a break here, step away, but we're going to keep the live feed going. Enjoy the music. I have to throw them in my food garbage. Actually, I have to finish my dinner.
Here you go, and it's ice cold.
Thank you.
Do you want me to leave it in the fridge for you?
Yeah. Please.
Well, I figured you needed to refill your bottle, so I brought it in.
Actually, my bottle's still topped up.
Is it cold water?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's cool. Cool. Hey, Dad, do you need your computer back?
No.
Okay.
You can use it if you want.
Well, we did the thing.
You gotta do it one more time before the night.
Twice? Okay. We'll do it in the last hour.
But no, it sounded really good.
Yeah, I got thrown by the whole June, July thing. I'm like, whoops. Like, you got the dates wrong. No, I'm getting the month wrong.
You say, I know I got those dates right. Shame on you. You gonna be around tomorrow or?
No. I am going to be in for the meeting, and I'm going to stick around for Let's Talk after that.
Oh, next week.
Next Sunday. I gotta catch up on my sleep because I got it's all day Sunday and Sam's graduation party is Sunday. So it's gonna be
I know how that feels. I haven't slept at all. Well, they turned around. They did that surgery on Thursday. Come to find out, I didn't need it.
Oh well, that's always good to know.
No, what it is, yeah, my kidneys are starting to shut down, but there's no blockage in it. What it is, I have abnormal bends in my arteries to my kidneys. So
What? I'm sorry. I am listening, but I do need to ask a question here real quick. What happens if I move a song over from this automation list to the live shows list?
What
Is that
song do
gonna-
you want?
Well, we need 3 songs, but one of my files was not good, so I only have 5. So I needed
What
a
song do
6th.
you need?
I was just gonna grab like Bowling for Soup here.
Which one?
Oh, you want me to grab it out of the library?
Yeah, go to library, go under A through F,
Okay.
and then go.
Thank you.
Bowling for Soup.
Oh, wait a second. You know what? Did we play Adamant last week?
Can't remember.
All right. Well, we're gonna do it this week.
Eh.
Yes. There you go. Perfect.
Now, in about a month, we're switching to the new system. We won't be using Zara anymore. So you'll have your own. You'll have it's similar to Zara.
Yep.
But you get all kinds of fun little buttons.
Okay.
So you can actually.
So maybe like
You can.
retrain.
You'll be able to program show out down to the exact minute if
Okay.
you wanted to. Like you can. You'll be able to go right to before you leave. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
We have it broke down by genre and by subgenres. So you'll be able to go in and it'll show everything. You can just type in, say, like you were looking for adamant, and pull it up and it'll, or if say you wanted to do like an all rock that night, just go up to the top, type it, it'll go to rock genre, and it'll bring up everyone under the rock genre. So it's actually going to be a lot easier. And all the breaks will automatically be programmed.
Just so you know, when we leave, I'm taking the trash out.
Thank you, appreciate that. What'd you do?
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. Well, I shorted a song. That's fun.
What's Kaylee doing July 14th? Do you guys have anything planned out night or that day?
Nothing as of right now.
Because Lori wanted to see if Kaylee could go to Cedar Point with us.
Okay. I will warn you now. Kaylee is terrified of roller coasters.
She doesn't have to go on roller coasters.
I'm just saying.
Does she like spinny rides?
Yes and no.
Uh-oh.
We went to Cedar Point last year and had a really hard time with Kaylee. There was one ride, it was very similar to like the Matterhorn.
Oh, the Himalayan,
Yeah, she loved that.
but didn't like the Matterhorn.
Well, we didn't take her on that.
Does she like the tilt-a-whirl and the scrambler and stuff? Okay. Maybe if she sees Lori getting on.
That's
some
kind of
s-
what I'm thinking. Maybe if her friend's there, she'll give into a little peer pressure.
Alex, we didn't think he'd get on roller coasters. He got on the Gemini, and that one's not an easy one for your first time. Lori's very first roller coaster was the Ragaroo. And she
I
got
made the
off of
mistake.
it, and she's like, I want to go on the Valraven. I want to go on the Gatekeeper. And I'm like, yeah.
I made the mistake last year of going on the Blue Streak because it's the Blue Streak. You have to go on the Blue Streak. I don't.
You mean the Millennium?
No, the Blue Streak, the oldest wooden roller coaster they have.
You mean the Main Street? They don't have that no more.
No,
That's-
Blue Streak. It's the tiny little wooden roller coaster. It's super tiny.
Oh, you mean the Cedar Mine Creek ride?
No,
There's no Blue Street there anymore.
there was last year.
The old little wooden.
It is seriously like two hills. Okay, I don't fit in the cars anymore. That was the most god awful, uncomfortable.
Oh,
ride
I know
of
which
my
one you're
life.
talking about. Yeah, they got rid of that one.
Did they? It was still there last year.
Yeah, they got rid of all those. The only wooden one they have left now is the Cedar Mine Creek.
But the Blue Streak was their oldest wooden roller coaster. It was actually, I think, the oldest wooden roller coaster in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, maybe if she sees Lori getting on him, because we didn't think Alex would get on him. He got on the Gemini. He rode the Iron Dragon like 4 or 5 times. So I think maybe if she gets on the Iron Dragon, she'll be okay.
Yeah.
Because that thing, there's nothing to it. And if Alex, being autistic, can get on it, we can get Kaylee on him.
She's
Probably like me. I don't mind them, but I can't stand the drops.
yeah. Isn't that what we did last time? There was like a little dance segment.
Mike's going hot. There you go, Ben. Adam Ant, Goody Two Shoes, here on the Manpocalypse Radio Show.
Welcome back.
SKO Radio Network. Welcome back. Apologies if you were enjoying Godsmack. I do apologize. Attempting to eject medium while music is playing.
Fair.
Dear Aaron, don't do that again. Don't break the machine. Right. So I'll wait till the middle of the third hour to take the medium out.
Yeah.
Like it's more good music coming up at the next break. I'll get that out of there. Green Day, Queen, and Rush.
Nice.
Rush. In my van, it's all Rush all the time. There you go. Fanboys.
Fanboys.
Give in to your hatred. Wait, time out.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Fanboys. If you have not yet seen the movie, go out, rent it, buy it, own it, run it. There you go. Tanning Tuesdays?
Yeah.
There you go. This hour we are going to touch on a subject that is near and dear in the heart and mind of you. Now you wanted to touch on chivalry. And I had when we started talking about this during the week, it's like, chivalry and manners kind of go hand in hand. So I'm going to let you open that up, and I'm going to expand on that as you're.
Well, this is where we're probably going to tick off any feminists that might be listening.
Wait a minute, we tick off feminists? Really?
Sometimes.
Do we? I think our existence ticks off feminists.
Yes. But we're talking about this, so this is going to make it worse. First of all, just let me actually read the Facebook post that actually got me kind of fired up on the subject.
Hit me.
And I won't say who posted it, but gentlemen, if a woman holds the door for you, don't put that lady's first crap on her. Just say thank you and walk through the damn door because she's probably a feminist and will just get annoyed. Yes, chivalry is dead, and for a damn good reason. So that's what got me fired up. And here's why. Number one, and I've actually been saying this for years, but people mix up chivalry and being a gentleman all the friggin' time.
Okay.
Because chivalry actually has nothing to do with holding doors or being polite or any of those Arthurian knight in shining armor crap that we've all believed it to be.
No.
Chivalry actually has everything to do with going to war and raping and pillaging and gaining all the power and money that you could in a war. Chivalry had everything to do with being the most badass warrior you could be, which has nothing to do with being a gentleman. And people mix that up all the time.
Okay.
So, is chivalry dead? Yes and no. You know, I mean, you and I both served. We don't really get praised for raping and pillaging. But
I'm sorry, that's an option.
It's kind of frowned upon. But
I want to get praised for raping.
Yeah, right.
pillaging.
But soldiers, Marines, airmen, whoever, there is a certain amount of, I'm going to go out here and be the biggest, baddest one I can be. And in that sense, chivalry is alive and well, and it should be.
Right.
But it has nothing to do with being a gentleman and being polite, number one.
Right.
So that was the first thing that drives me nuts is, once again, a feminist talking out of their ass, not knowing what they're talking about.
Right.
But number two, what the hell is wrong with being a gentleman? It has nothing to do with me thinking I'm better than you or you're weaker than me. It's how we were raised. At least you and I were, to some extent.
Right.
You know, we were raised to treat women with respect.
We were raised to treat people with respect.
Agreed. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
In fact, it's almost a crime that we've gotten so far away from men that know how to be a gentleman.
Right.
And as far as getting annoyed because you hold a door for me and I say ladies first, quite frankly, piss off.
Here's where,
in my humble opinion.
I've taken umbrage to this. I've created scenes over this. I've been stared at over this. I will hold a door open for somebody, or I will get caught holding a door. Let's put it that way.
Right.
There have been times where it's like I'm holding a door, and then
The floodgates.
and then here comes the parade. If I'm holding a door for somebody, I'm being polite. I'm showing my good manners.
Yes.
The bare minimum of my expectation is a thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's, I absolutely do not think that I am asking too much. But apparently I am. Because there have been times where I've opened a door and someone has just walked right through it.
And said nothing.
And I've done this. My wife will attest to this. I have gotten back. I've seen videos of people like grab the woman by the back of the head, yank the back out of the door, walk through and like hold your own damn door. I have gotten in people's faces. I've literally got up in their stuff and said, "You're welcome." Like, was I supposed to say, yes, you were.
You were. It's
You
polite.
actually were. You know, I could have made you hold your own door.
Yeah.
But, you know, I didn't. So, there's for me, it almost feels like a teaching moment.
Yeah.
Like, here, I have manners. I'd like to show them to you. Because to this point, you have not given me a reason not to.
Right.
You've not given me a reason to not respect you. But when you do, I will not
I'm
respect
going to let you know.
I will not respect you. But here, being nice. Here, you get on the bus first.
Right.
Here, let me get that for you. Hey, do you need help with this?
Yeah.
You know, simple human decency. And
here's the thing. We don't only, as guys, we don't only offer that to women. If I see a guy coming towards a door and he's got his hands full, I hold the door for that guy.
oh yeah,
In turn, if I'm going towards a door and somebody's there first, I, out of politeness, expect them to do the same thing for me. It's just being polite.
yeah. And like I said, I'm opening the door. Let me open the door for you. And then, if you're talking about like an office building, here comes the cavalcade, and I'm like, at some point, I would like to enter the building too. I mean, I kind of have to punch in here in a few minutes and do my work.
Now, in a situation like that, I'm not going to lie, I do kind of hand it off to somebody else.
Body checking is an option.
Is an option.
I will throw a hip check and shove you into the boards.
And, I will go back and say, I guess I can maybe have some understanding where if a woman's already holding a door for me, stopping and saying ladies first is a little bit old school.
Mm-hmm.
A, there's nothing wrong with that. And B, there's no sense in getting offended over it. There's no sense in getting annoyed over it. Somebody's just trying to be polite and show you the manners that they were raised with.
Mm-hmm. Let me expand on that for a moment. We've touched on holding doors and whatnot, and the pros and cons of coming around to the other side of the car and opening the door. And there are some out there who will be like, I can open my own door. I'm like, I'm sure you can. You're a fully functioning adult.
Yes.
You pay taxes and nobody has to change your diaper anymore. But allow me to do this for you.
Right.
Now, neither of us have had to have worried about this for at least the last decade or so. But one thing that always struck me as perpendicular when I was dating is that if I'm inviting somebody out to dinner or coffee or whatever we're doing to get together so that we can spend time and converse and do the whole dating thing, the whole rigmarole, okay? At least the first time, because I don't know you, you don't know me, and this was my idea. I'm going to pay for dinner,
Yes.
coffee, whatever the case may
Yes.
be. Okay. If at some point beforehand you've raised an objection to this, and you're like, well, let's split it. Let's go Dutch.
Right. My
Combatant to that is, why don't we say that for next time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked you
Because-
the first time.
Because first of all, I'm banking on there being a next time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Little trick.
Yeah.
Man tip.
Oh my goodness, we're going to set up a whole different part of the Facebook page. Man tips.
Yep.
I'm surprised that we should bring Ben in here to talk about man tips.
We should.
But the other thing is that I have no objection to if someone wants to pick up a tab, I don't have an objection to a free meal
No, not at all.
or a free coffee. But let me get the first one. This was my idea. I approached you. I walked up to you. I said, "Hey, you're hot.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Let's go out.
Let me be seen in public with you to up my cool quotient, because I'd appreciate that."
And you were just drunk enough to say yes.
And and in exchange, I will provide the evening's festivities. So, that has been something that has always kind of been, I think the reason that at least the female persuasion, or even at worst the feminists, jump up and down about that is, well, I have my own money and I can pay for my own way and this, that, and the other. It's like, it's not about who has money and who doesn't. It's not about, what am I thinking of here? Exerting dominance.
No,
Or
not
saying,
at all.
I'm better than you, or I'm I'm on a higher plane than you are. It's about showing the appreciation for, I asked you out and you said yes.
Yeah.
Now, for some guys, that's not a problem. You just have to kind of, bat your eyelashes and do that crooked smile. And women are like, well, I don't need these panties tonight.
Pretty much.
You know,
I've never had that problem.
Fuglies like me, when I get a yes, I'm like, so, I put on announcements. I let the plain dealer know. I call it my parents. It becomes a big deal. We go down to the Olive Garden. I've got a coupon, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
So there's that. So, it's an appreciation for you, spending your time with me. The next time I'm spending my time with you here. You rent me out.
Yeah, if you want to pay the next time or if you want to go Dutch the next time, so be it. But the first time, especially if I asked you,
right,
it's on me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all those little things. It's holding the door for somebody. It's opening the car door for somebody. It's paying for the meal. I'll even go somewhere that I'm going to dare say that most guys today don't know is a thing, is when you're walking down the street, you have the woman walk on the inside.
Yep. I was just about to mention that too.
Okay?
Do you remember why?
I don't remember why. I know why I do it.
Why do you do it?
I do it because if something is going to happen, it's going to come from the outside, not the inside, and I'd much rather have it happen to me.
You're close. You're very, very close. Someone had once said that if a car jumps the curb, it'll hit you first.
Right.
Well, okay, if a car jumps the curb, it's going to hit both of you.
Yeah, you're both gone.
So, no. It's a splashback.
Okay,
If
that makes
a
sense.
car drives through a puddle, it's going to hit you first. And then, guys being burly, big fat,
We're going to soak up the water.
We're going to sponge it up and we're going to block most of it. Or, especially if you have the opportunity to see it coming, if you're walking on that side of the street, you could be like, okay, I'm going to, I'm going to be your hero and I'm going to protect you from the evil water because you're probably wearing something much more expensive than my jeans and t-shirt.
Yeah. But, that's why I do it. And, I do that with my wife. I do that with my kids. They walk on the inside because if something's going to happen, I want it to happen to me. Heck, even at my photo shoot on
I try to
Father's
do
Day.
it with my daughter, but she loves puddles, so I lose that battle
I know.
70% of the time. Your photo shoot.
But even on my photo shoot,
You got one?
the young lady was willing to, climb down in some rocks and stuff to get some cool shots. Every single time climbing back up, I put my hand out.
Oh, yeah.
Did she take it every time? No, but when she needed it, it was there.
Yep.
It wasn't me saying, here, I'm a big, strong man. It was me saying, your 100-pound butt isn't going to pull me down into that ravine, so if you need a hand up, here.
I would have laughed if it did.
I would have laughed if it did, too.
Oh, you think you're going to pull me up? Here, watch this, yank.
Yeah, right? But, no, it's little polite gestures.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, in all honesty, when you bring in the, the feminist side of things, they don't even want us to be gentlemen anymore. It just kind of gets under my skin.
Right.
Because being raised to be a gentleman, what the heck do you think taught me not to be an abusive man? What do you think taught me not to be a rapist? It was learning those little gentlemanly things. Right. Learning to respect women, learning to respect others.
And I think that's really kind of what it boils down to is that, a lot of people out there, especially a lot of women out there, have had a rough go, have had a rough deal, have had, bad situation after bad situation after bad experience and so on and so forth. And so it's toughened them up. Yeah. And it's thickened their skins. And they've gotten to a point where it's like, you know what, I'm independent. I can do this on my own. You're here along for the ride. And it really kind of skews the whole idea of finding someone to quote unquote pair bond with. It's like, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to be independent. You can find somebody that you actually look forward to leaning on. I mean, there is the reason that there is a 12-year difference between, the age of my children. a lot of that has to do with I went and just decided, I'm really I'm gonna wait until my skin is not as thick as it is.
Right.
And I'm certainly gonna hang out with people and talk and converse and have fun and find somebody to, just kind of be with, but nothing really serious. And then, along came my wife, and I'm like, okay, that's the human I want to do stuff with.
Yep.
And there you go. So, you're eventually going to be able to, as a man, find that person that you'll want to just kind of let your guard down with, and likewise. So it all comes down to the whole idea of manners and not chivalry, but just being a decent person.
Yeah.
And offering yourself up to say, what can I do to make your life a little easier right now?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to. And I think, in all honesty, if you look at it, getting past the word chivalry,
Mhm.
and let's just talk about manners and, being a gentleman and being a good human being,
Mhm.
that's gone away. People don't learn that like they used to. I hate to say this makes me sound so old, but look at some of the kids these days. They have no clue how to hold a door open for anybody. They have no clue what it means to put somebody you love on the inside of the street when you're walking down the road. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it is, I don't want to say that we're in the midst of a me generation, but I'm looking for the right way to say this to not sound either atypically political or condescending, but even though people are trying to be more giving of themselves, when it comes to interpersonal relationships, there's a lot of selfishness. There's a lot of what's in it for me? What am I getting out of this?
People like to give on a big scale,
Yes.
but in a very personal one-on-one, it's all about me.
Right. I think when it comes down to when you're giving on a big scale, there's there's a trophy effect. It's
Yeah.
like, I did this.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm doing this.
Even then, it
On
comes
a
back to
personal
me.
scale, you're giving to say if you go and try to give to somebody else, it comes down to, well, who's going to notice?
Yeah.
And it's one of those, well, yeah, but so does everybody else. And you're building children's hospitals in Rwanda. Congratulations, it's something not everybody does. I'm holding the door open for this person. Congratulations, what's he going to do next? Pay your power bill?
Right.
So, it comes down to really just finding, people need a reason. People today need a reason to do things for other people, and I do think that that's sad. I think that there should just be, this is what I do, and this is how I am, and I want to do this because I want to do this.
And I guess my question is when did that change? I look back in my life, and between the way I was raised, Marine Corps, getting married and having a family, I've been raised that way my entire life up to this point. So I've missed where that changed.
I don't know where it changed. There's certainly been a lot that has changed about the family dynamic from generation to generation. You look at the way that our parents came up, the family dynamic was really very simple in that, dad went out and got a job, mom stayed home and took care of the family.
Right.
And it was very simple to be able to afford, living a very well-off life on one income. The cost of living was low and incomes were moderate. And as we've gone on, relationships became less and less about a family dynamic and more about, well, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
What can I get out of this? What benefit is this to me? Where, everybody's got to work. Oh, you're 15 now, go get a job, and there's less and less about, less and less about sharing, and more and more about, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
And it's, and again, it's not to say that there's any way to really kind of put a name to it more so than it is just a way of saying, despite everything else, despite how things used to be and how they are now, and how, we try to make ends meet, we try to do what we can, and we suffer through broke down cars, and we suffer through, medical expenses, and we suffer through this and we suffer through that. At the end of the day, we go home and we look at our family and we say, you know what, this is the gateway to the good life.
Right.
And I think it takes a certain level of manliness to be able to say, you know what, I can't do any better than this. This is the pinnacle of my life. Could I have more money? Yeah. Could I have a better job? Sure.
For sure.
Could I have a better car? Yeah. And those are things, and I think it takes a certain type of manliness to be able to look past the things. I mean, sure, I want more things. I want nicer things. I want better things.
Of course.
I play the lottery not because, hey, it's fun to waste $10 to $20, every once in a while on numbers that don't come up. I play because someday it would be nice to absolutely have a heart attack.
Right.
The next morning when I look and the numbers match, and I know that somebody in a few weeks is going to hand me a check for $200 and some odd million, and then I'm done.
I play at work, and that's about the only time, because honestly, I refuse to be that one guy. The one guy that did not put in $1 when everybody wins. That's when I play the lottery.
Here's the thing. And here we go. We can actually spin this into the next hour. We could spin this in the next hour, because I could go on and on about the lottery thing. First of all, playing at work, I have seen too many horror stories about, okay, well, here is the pool of lottery people. And, we gave all our money to Fred here, who goes down to the lottery store and plays our lottery tickets. But Fred took his own money, played a different lottery ticket, and supposedly that one won, and it wasn't from our pool.
Right.
And then they all spend time in court and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. It's like, you know what? It becomes a thing. It's just chaos personified. And again, so, when you're dealing with extra people, there's always ulterior motives. And, Fred, when the numbers come up, Fred says, oh, no, those were my numbers. Those weren't your numbers. Those were my numbers. I won the money, not you guys.
Right.
So I'm taking off with it.
But see, Fred didn't learn good manners.
No, we didn't. Now, talking about, the lottery and things like that, let's talk about a new level of manliness. And that's, remembering where you came from. I think it takes a certain type of manliness to remember where you came from. And in saying that, now I have no experience in winning the lottery, obviously.
Yeah.
And I know that if my numbers ever did come up, I will scream and cry. I will weep. I will weep.
Oh, I will cry like a baby.
I will wake the women. The women will weep. Bella will be like, what is going on?
I will hug strangers, and I'm not a hugger.
I will weep. And then I will put into motion a plan I've had for years, because I'm like, I play because I would like to have that kind of money.
Right.
And what happens is that you give people that kind of money who never had that kind of money. And you see it a lot especially in sports, where, you give rookies right out of high school, or we've only had 1 or 2 years in college, and you give them millions upon millions upon millions of dollars,
and they grew up. Shit.
They grew up with nothing, and then they go nuts.
Yeah. And
you hear about people who don't know how to manage that kind of money, and they don't have a career, and all of a sudden, they're playing basketball for about 5 minutes, and then the money stops, and then what?
Right.
And you hear the lottery stories on top of that. I won 250. They handed me. It was a $500 million lottery. I was the only winner after taxes. They gave me a check for $250 million. I bought 3 homes, 2 boats. I bought a jet. I bought the Dallas Cowboys. I hired a bunch of prostitutes. I bought a pound of cocaine. I spent.
Oh.
And then the end of the year when the tax bill comes, well, where's all the money?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, here, let me start selling stuff off so I can afford the tax bill. Oh, you sold stuff? Next year, another tax bill.
Yeah.
Before too long, you're in bankruptcy. You just had $250 million disappear nowhere. Okay? Nothing about saying, okay, well, instead of buying 3 houses, just buy 1 house. There's one of you. Just live there.
Just live there.
Decide where you want to live. Do I want to move back to the other side of the state? Do I want to live in a nice penthouse in Manhattan? That was like one of the big lottery dreams.
Right.
Do I want to leave the country? When that's, that may be something I touch upon when we do Let's Talk next month. Do I want to leave the country and go somewhere else? Do I want to live, in the middle of North Dakota somewhere where the population is 5 and 3 of them are my family? Just a house and a couple of cars, and then the rest will just sit somewhere where I can draw the interest, and that's my salary.
And that's it.
I
think actually, and I'm totally going to have to paraphrase here, but I think it was Garth Brooks. Somebody asked him once, what do you do with all that money? How can you possibly spend all that money? And he basically said, I can show you how to spend $1 million in 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
People with that kind of money that have never had that kind of money have no clue what they're doing.
Right.
And hell, half the people that have had that kind of money before don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, you get that kind of money and you just get stupid.
Right.
But give me the chance to get stupid, damn it.
And that's the thing. It's like you have a choice. Okay. You can get stupid and the money can disappear. And believe me, you want to get stupid.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Because,
I'm climbing Everest, damn it.
Here's the thing, okay? I'm going to spend money on taking the kids to, which one's the one in Florida? Disney World?
I've never been
Disney World,
Disney,
Disneyland.
just freaking Disney.
We may do the Disney cruise because I've never been on a boat. I will most likely, anytime we need to fly somewhere, I will probably charter a plane.
Right.
Because autistic 6-year-old on a plane, I mean, even in first class, people will be
You don't
like,
need that.
yeah, oh, we've heard the horror stories. No, we're going to get our own
No,
plane.
thank you.
But, and stuff like that will, it's like, okay. But being smart about it and saying, okay, I have a chance to be stupid. Let me be a little stupid. Let me do a little bit of stupid stuff. Let me buy a house for $600,000, $700,000, $800,000.
Yep.
Let me buy a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. Why? Because I may want someone to stay over. I may want someone to come stay with me.
Right.
I may want to have parties. I may want to have a kitchen where I can actually create. I may want a basement where I can show movies and make it feel like I'm watching a movie, not
Right.
just something on TV. A couple of cars because I'm tired of like, okay, whose turn is it with the car?
Yeah.
And something that was made, I don't know, this year,
Maybe.
And that's it. I mean, the thing is when you come from, if you remember where you came from, you don't need to get that stupid.
No.
If you remember where you came from, you know that there are certain upgrades to your lifestyle that just have to be made. I'm done renting. I'm done leasing.
Exactly.
I'm done doing this. I'm done doing that. And you can be done doing that.
My wife
But
and
do
I,
you need to own 3 boats when you don't even,
No.
you've never owned a boat in your life?
we
mean, the 3 times that I've been on a boat, the whole time I was in the Corps, I've never been on a boat.
yeah,
All my stuff was on the land.
which that's a funny different story.
I know, completely funny story. The 3 times I've been on a boat, I made the mistake of, drinking heavily beforehand. Vomit is really funny when you hear it splash in water. It's the funniest sound you've ever heard. And you want to make it splash again because it just keeps coming.
But no, my wife and I, we've had that dream conversation. What would you do if you won $200 million? And I'd like to think that, yeah, we'd buy, a reasonably nice house. We'd have probably a couple cars. I'm not going to go buy a Ferrari just because I can.
No.
It'd be tempting, don't get me wrong, but I'll go rent one for the day if I really want to drive one.
I think the most expensive I'd go is Lexus. That's about as high end as I'll go.
Right.
And not even like the $100,000 Lexus. I don't need to go that high.
And you know what? Since I brought up Ferrari, I do not understand. There's a Ferrari. It's like $1 million. Okay, you don't get to take it home.
I wouldn't want to.
They keep it, and so many times a year you're allowed to say, "Hey, I'm going to be at this track. I would like to drive my car."
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I mean, something that valuable. I mean, even in the poshest neighborhood, somebody's going to and driving that thing on the road. On these
I
roads,
don't disagree
take
with
that
that.
on
But
77.
why am I going to spend $1 million on something I can't touch whenever I want? But people do that. So my wife and I have had that conversation where I like to think we would not go that overboard.
Right.
But where I think we
Spend
would
50K
fail,
and you're fine.
where I think we would absolutely fail is traveling.
Right.
That's where I would blow money left and right. There's so many places I want to see.
Now, like I said, Orlando. I've been dying to get out to England, maybe catch a footy match, something like that.
I'm Italian. I want to go to Italy so bad.
Yeah, I'm Russian. I don't need to see Kiev. I'm fine. I'm really good.
Chernobyl?
Yeah, Chernobyl. Vacation spot of the.
I hear
of
you
Europe.
can actually do that now.
Yeah, but you don't want to.
You don't want to give it a shot?
No, yeah. I mean, I could if I want to glow in the dark, I'll just break open glow sticks and paint myself.
You don't want to grow a third testicle and be even more manly?
Well, remind me to tell you about the time I found out I had a hernia.
All right.
That'll be for another show someday. What's the different? Yeah, okay. Earl's telling his Ferrari joke again. That's the same Ferrari. I think that's the same Ferrari joke Earl told us the other week. The vacation. Oh yeah, England. I've always wanted to take a train ride across the country.
Right.
And you kind of want to do that before Amtrak.
And I'm the one drinking.
Amtrak goes under, but Vegas has been dropped a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I don't gamble.
I have no real
And
desire to go to
and,
Vegas.
and that's the thing. That's one of those dumb things. That's one of those, you want to get stupid, but you don't want to get too stupid. It's like, okay, you go to Bellagio and you're a whale and you've got, a snot ton of cash. Do you really want to hit the high rollers room and piss it all away, quickly? Because I know I can certainly do that. And with the, my knowledge of gambling games, it'll disappear. I won't be one of those that comes out with more. You'll end up comping me everything because I just dropped $50K
right
in your casino. I've been to California, so I'm not really impressed. I've been to Texas. I might go back, but certainly not in the summertime.
Yeah.
Not a billion, not a whole lot in. Of course, Earl, the tour guide of Vegas, will tell us.
Caesar's Palace is amazing.
Yeah.
According to Earl.
Yeah.
Which one? Hey, Earl, which one had the good buffet?
Oh, the $50 buffet that he only went to
one?
twice. Yeah, I did, and that's the thing. I end up going there. I want to go places where I'm going to eat food that I don't get to eat in Ohio.
Yes.
I'm going to go to San Antonio and get Tex-Mex.
You know what? I'm sad to say this because he killed himself. But if I get that much money, I just want to live Anthony Bourdain's life. I want to travel the world and eat food. That's what I want to do.
And the problem with that is that I would love to just run around and eat all the time, but and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing you can't get too stupid about is that when you have money and you stop working, then you're pretty much all your medical expenses are coming out of pocket.
Yeah.
And when you consider the medical expenses that you and I would have to take on. It's like, okay, well, we're going to take about half of what we won and just set it aside and like, okay, here's medical bills.
Yeah.
'Cause
This is for my first heart attack.
here's for therapies, and here's for durable goods. And oh yeah, since we're going to all these food places, here's for like the cholesterol-driven heart attack that I'm going to have in about 50 minutes. So
I mean, bear in mind, I'm not going to make it past the first destination. I'm going to gorge myself, like, you know.
you're going to have your own food challenge.
Yes, my own food
I'm
challenge.
going to go to Italy and eat the country.
I'm going to die.
Just bury me here in the parking lot of this Italian restaurant.
Find my family's little, you know, Glen or wherever they live. Bury me there, because I'm going to die.
There you go.
On
So-
noodles.
On noodles. See, there you go. Go to China. Go to Beijing and eat food, because there it's not Chinese food. It's just food.
It's just food.
You know, I get beef lo mein that's actually, you know, soy sauce actually made out of soy instead of, because I've never seen a brown soybean.
No.
And I grew up near Lima, so you know, I'll tell you what soybeans are supposed to look like, kids. Yeah, I mean, again, remember where you came from, and that kind of ties back into the whole thing that we talked about in regards to manners. You know, remember where you came from. Remember growing up, and remember who your role models were, and remember what you know what they brought to you, and remember what they wanted you to take away. I mean, there were a lot of times it's like, why is this important to me? And again, really just, you know, remembering your roots is a big part of, you know, what being a man is all about.
Well, that's the key. That's the difference between a boy and a man, because a boy doesn't understand those lessons. They don't understand when their grandpa's telling them, hold the door for your grandma. They don't understand when your dad's saying, you know, carry these bags into the house for your mom. A man, you become a man when you realize what those lessons meant. And you realize that you're the person you are because of those lessons, at least partially.
Right. So we've touched on drinking games, we've touched on manners, we've touched on the lottery dream, we've touched on a lot of stuff tonight. We're going to snap off our second break a little early so we can really delve into some stuff for the third hour. Marathon it, binge it, have some fun with it. So we're going to jump right back into the music here. We will be back in about 12, 15, 20, however long the music takes.
About an hour and 20 minutes just to say goodbye.
There you go. You are.
We got nothing left for you.
Yeah, we are going to powwow and talk about stuff and have a good time doing it. You are listening to the Manpocalypse Radio Show here on the SKO Radio Network. Now I put Godsmack back in there. I'm going to close the hour with it, or the music break with it, so it's going to be a 4-song break.
Okay. Any ideas, man?
The importance of grooming.
Grooming?
Because I still see, you know, guys walking around. I don't know what you're trying to look like, but there's one thing if you could be like an outdoor person,
Right.
you know, especially in the wintertime, that much fur is helpful. Like, into grooming, getting in shape, staying in shape.
Yeah.
You know, keeping an eye on your health, especially
Anger control.
Hmm?
Anger control.
You know, we could probably do the hour. You know, we could start in on that. I'm starting on another part for the standpipe stuff. We can talk about. We went from grooming. We went grooming to what? To anger control.
Stay in shape. Health.
Okay, health. health and fitness and control. That sounds good. That'll be the third.
Be right back.
Yep. Yes, we planned the show on the fly. Thanks for tuning in with us here on Facebook Live. We keep the stream running the whole time. Hope you're enjoying it. The boss is watching, so we have to behave, or, lack of behave, because he behaves about as less as anyone else here. General manager just walked in, so I really have to behave.
I see that head shake. I saw that head shake. Question for you.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you the music list on some of our artists that we have. Well, we've got so many songs. I don't know if we should keep every song from those artists or just narrow them down to the most popular. But let me show you an example. While you're on break, real quick.
Yep.
Because I know you're going to want to get the hell out of here when you're done. For example, if I go into first grade, yeah. I've got some of them that have over 200. What should I do? Narrow it down to the most popular, or?
Yeah, that's going to be kind of the trick, because what are you going to narrow it down to? A lot of this, keep in mind, I'm just staring at this. A lot of these are cover tunes. California Dreamin', Bridge Over Troubled Home. It's touchscreen.
You didn't know that?
I did not until now.
Yeah.
Chattanooga Choo Choo. I mean, when you think of Barry Manilow, you think of some of the stuff he did, not some of the stuff he covered. So some of those cover tunes could certainly go.
Yeah, because like I said, that's why I was saying that day when I said that's what we got. But that's not even to mention the other flash drives that we just got from, I know this one was his, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, Mandy was his. Memory was not. Memory he got off of Cats. But Copacabana, Memory.
I knew Copacabana wasn't his.
Somewhere Down the Road. I mean, if this is something you want me to take some time and go through, I could probably burn off a day doing that.
Yeah, because that would save me a lot of metadata.
Yep.
Because he's not the only one we have like that. If you go on there, if you look at this is our Christmas file.
And I'm gonna bet that if I went through this, I'd probably see some different people doing the same songs.
Yep. But the only good thing is at Christmas time, that gives you a little bit more. Now, see, I can see Christmas being like that, but we were looking at Barry Manilow, and then she's not one of them. But one of them.
Then you run into another issue. It's okay, well, we got 200 Barry Manilow songs. I was going through this here. Where was it?
Right there.
No, that's not something else. Let me spell.
Well, and then they're not even all right way, because
Beastie Boys, we got 4 songs.
But I also have more. That's why I'm trying to get what I'm trying to do before I finish metadata is get all the songs from the flash drive.
Yeah.
I was picking his brain.
Yes, Queen.
Well, no, because we got 136 songs by Barry Manilow. Do I really want to metadata 136 songs? But he said, a lot of those are covers.
Yeah.
So it's which ones do we cut out? Which ones do we keep?
Don't look at the comments on the Facebook feed.
What now?
So yeah, it's going to be an undertaking, especially when you consider how many artists we have to go through here. Macklemore, one song. Well, he only really did once. So yeah, I mean, you certainly don't want to metadata all 137 Barry Manilow songs because that would make anybody's head explode.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I told her, I said, yeah, we may have all these songs, but not every single one of them we're going to be keeping.
Right.
And like a lot of them, if I can't find the metadata for them, they're out the window.
Right.
Right.
Or if I can't find the correct album cover, because with metadata, you have to have the album cover.
Yeah.
If I can't find the proper album cover, it's gone. I don't care if it's the most popular song that artist did.
Can't find it. It's gone.
Yeah. Because if not, I'm just going to be sitting there racking my brain trying to do one song. And then like I told her, I said, if a song is less than a minute, it's gone off automatically. If it's less than 2 minutes, it's hit or miss. But even then, it's really, there's no songs that are less than 2 minutes.
Right.
And then like if I look over here and I'm like, okay, this song is supposed to be 7 minutes and I see we only have a 3-minute version, obviously the whole song didn't download.
Right.
So it's gone before I even mess with it. Because I've still got 7 more flash drives and 12 more microchips in there that I've got to go through. So what I've been trying to do is taking the flash drives, plugging it in here, looking at what I already have downloaded.
Apparently we're boring, Earl.
Oh, whatever. Looking to see what I've already downloaded to the computer and then just deleting them right off that flash drive and then keeping the ones that we don't have yet.
Apparently, currently, it smells like Earl in here, so that's why we're trying to breathe through our mouths.
Ha ha ha. You funny guy. Do you need a drink or something, Mike?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You want a water?
Sure.
Cold one?
Yes, please.
No, make it tepid. No, still working on mine, thanks.
Only on Facebook Live. See Debbie bring Mike a water. Please?
Right, smart ass.
You might be one. Ow. That was what Earl said.
But yeah, if there's a day you can come in.
Probably not far off.
But yeah, if there's a day you can come in and help me kind of weed some of that shit out.
Okay.
Because I told her.
It won't be this week, like I said, this
That's
week is
fine,
already
this
booked
week's
up.
okay. Because that'll give me time to get the songs we don't have off those flash drives. That way we can go right down through it. And if we can cut half that out before I even finish metadata, metadata will be done so much quicker.
Okay.
So,
Then I can send the girls over to your house and they can play.
Sweet. Thanks.
Bella has been
mine to as well.
Bella's been talking about.
Why do y'all hate me?
Hey, you've met Lori. She's a good kid.
She is a good kid.
Yeah, she was asking about, like you said, about Kaylee going, and I said, well, that's fine.
I'll talk to the wife tonight.
It wouldn't cost her anything, so.
Okay.
Just some spending money if she needed it. We'd buy her ticket. Now give Lori someone to hang out with.
Right.
She hangs out with her brother all the time, so. But I think honestly, if she sees Lori now that's getting on, I wouldn't expect her to get on any of the big things.
That's what she said.
All right. Yeah, God, don't.